some 3D. So a nice little 3D graphic here. In fact, this little graphic here has been just expanded a little bit, so it's now good for graphic to actually paste into other objects, etc. It's no longer editable as 3D. Let's have a look how we set that up. So I'm just going to delete it for the time being. We're going to use with editable text to start off with before we expand it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click here. I'm just going to go, I think I'll go PA this time. And I'm just going to drag some text out here. I'm going to hold my shift key just to keep it nice and in place and scalable, not actually distorting, because if I don't hold my shift key, it does that. So what I want to do is hold my shift key just to keep it going together. Now this is just straight text. If I double click here, and what I can do is hold my option key and just my arrow key left in this case, and I want to bring my kerning in. So that's sort of what I want at this stage. Now also to get some really nice color, etc., you want a neutral tone, grey, blues, reds, whatever. And I'll just go back onto the blue here, and that's great. And I'm going to come up now with it selected. I'm just going to come straight up here, and you'll see effects. And what I want to do is I can extrude it. I can or actually extrude and bevel. That was the last one I did actually, but I've got all these things I could do here, and even the materials, etc. But anyway, what I want to do for a start, I just want to go through and extrude and bevel, and there it is. And so what I can do is I can put depth in there. You can also go to inflate, and I can actually, as you see, it's got inflate at that side, and I can actually just take it back that way as well, or I can actually inflate both sides, and they're both inflated as well, which if you want to do some cool effects, I just don't want any of those for the time being. What I want to do is now I want to revolve it. So there's extrude. A plane, we're just going to turn around on a plane, but I want to revolve it. So if I click on like so, I've got that, and I can actually just take it through and take it back to how it's fitting there. Now, of course, just down in the bottom here, we can also revolve, and you see you can bring it around as you see fit, just to get the right sort of tones and colors. And that can be up or down or whatever, and let's see, get a nice sort of shape there. That's cool. And I might just bring it through and just bring it through a little bit that side. That's probably quite good, but I want to change my lighting. So lighting, here we go, lighting up the top here. What I can do is actually you can play with intensity and things like that. You've also got ambient light, which is good. See, it goes quite dark otherwise, but that could be an ambient effect that's nice. And of course, we can rotate the light around until we get it right, even heighten up there. So I'm pretty happy with that look and feel at the moment. But what I want to do, it's still editable because, hold it, what did we have before a D? Well, I'm going to double click just back here, and I just want to type that and just go back to a D in this case, and there you go, and click outside of that. So we can change it any stage when it's sort of editable. Might not be the perfect look and feel you want, etc., but see, I'll go back from lighting just to object down here, and now I can actually just still move it around to see how it's looking. And anyway, that's looking pretty good, so that's what I want. But what I want to do now is just go to materials. So I'm going to click on materials this time, and now I've got all these from the standard setting we're on to something else. So I'm just going to choose just one to get things going. So as long as it's highlighted there, and we can double click, and there it is, it's changed, etc. So, and of course, just up here, if we just want to expand appearances, and now it's actually no longer an editable text graphic. It's no longer object there. As you see, it's actually now just a pure graphic. Okay, so that might be what we want when we want to paste it into other sets, etc. I'm just going to delete this for the time being. One more I'm going to quickly look at is just doing a quick shape here. So I'm going to go to my vector tools, which is the pen tool here. Now if it's not visible, just make sure you're in the pen tool. So I'm just going to take it off the cap so we can see it, and I'm just going to do a nice little jar design. Click here, just to get my cool jar, and I'm just going to revolve up here. In fact, just to get a bit of shape with it, I'm going to click down here, take it through. Now you do need to go all the way and just join it up to make sure you're going to get it fitting it up here. So I'll just go click and then finish. There's my shape. Now go to the pen tool here, which is not the pen tool but the just direct selection tool, and of course then you can just shape it until you get it just back to the sort of cup sort of style that you want. I think that's what I want there. I might just if I not happy with my corners, you can actually go and change it. Or if I put it down here, you can actually get rid of it being a curve altogether by just coming to the same tool here, and you go to the anchor point change. If you click on it, and now it's a sharp point, so that's probably more what I want actually. I'll bring that down here. That's great. So I'm going to do the same thing before. Actually, I might just make it a bit wider. So I'm going to click it out through here and just revolve it around there. And now the same thing what I did before. Oops, probably not perfect there. So I'll just bring that in a little bit. Bring that outside a little bit. Great. Now I want to back to the pointer tool here and just come back down to your 3D. So it's, remember, it's just up here. So effects. And what I want to do is extrude and bevel, but I'll just come back to this one and I'm just going to revolve it around here. And there you go. So I've made this really cool shape, which at any stage we can come through here and we can actually just sort of start changing it as well. So it'll just update accordingly. So and of course we can just take it back through here and then revolve it around the other side like so, or we can even offset it and then we can actually take it apart like so, or we can even have it on the right edge, and now it's going to give it more of the cut-like feel that I wanted. So I'll zoom that down a little bit, take that so we can see that. I'm just going to go back to my selection tool there and just drag it so it's going to be a bit smaller. Shift key there, should just jump around and back to Command 0 just to fit it. And there you go, we've got sort of our graphic, which is our graphic that we're putting together here. Now one other thing you can do as well, apart from where I put a texture on it before, if I just click on materials, you can go to graphics. Now the graphics are essentially anything that's stored as really a symbol. So there's some not symbol shapes here, but if we come down to just these different graphics appearance, actually I want the symbol one, which should be just there, that's symbols. So what I can do is actually put different graphics. And I tell you what, let's go and make one. So I'm just going to quickly go through here and just with the graphic, I'm just going to make some simple, so I'll do a little star shape here. There's my star, I'll do another star, and I better make this just different color so it's going to stand out so we can see it. And this one, back to the pointer tool, will be, let's see, we'll make that so it's definitely a different color. That's cool. And I'm just going to go and drag this into my symbols like so. There's a symbol, I'll just call it star. And so we've got that little graphic in here. So now when I'm got this selected and I want to put a graphic in here, we should have our stars. So I can add a star and basically it's just rendering the star there, which you can actually pull out and essentially plonk down and put anywhere you want. As you see, it'll just actually fit the shape nicely. Make it a bit bigger there. And there you go. So we've got our graphics and we can have textures. Actually, we can even have materials at the same time. So if I just come back in there and I'm going to add a material. So I've got graphics and materials. And I'll just double click on that. Let's make sure it's selected first. Double click. And as you can see, we can get both. So that's just a little bit of an idea what you can do with 3D graphics, text, editable text, whatever. So that's working a little bit with Adobe Illustrator with 3D. Thanks for watching.